How you doing, everyone? I'm in a beautiful sunny place, you can guess where. In this video I wanted to talk about the importance of looking into other cultures and actually learning how to see yourself and your own culture in another culture, right? The world is a big place. There's a lot of different nations, states, within countries. There's lots of different subcultures. Within a city, there's lots of different groups of people, right? People into street art, people into theater, people into music, people who work a lot and make money, grinders, hustlers, in legal and illegal ways, right? And they're all different cultures. And what we're accustomed to do as humanity, as ourselves, is to look down on another culture, is to build walls. Naturally, that's what we do, build walls around ourselves, and to say that that's not us. I'm different, I'm better. Okay, that's not me. They're worse than me. I am better, I know better. If only they were like me, the world would be a better place, right? Well, if everyone thought like you, which they do in fact, the world would be exactly the place we're in today, which is a beautiful place with some things that maybe we don't desire as much at the same time. So the trick is this, right? This isn't a term for not for being sort of alien to other cultures. The term is xenophobia, but I wouldn't really give it such a big name. I think it's just being human, which is very natural, right? We are accustomed to build walls and to protect ourselves. And you have to do that, especially as you're growing up and you're learning about the world. But as you start maturing and opening up, I invite you to consciously seek to understand other cultures, seek to involve yourself in other cultures. And you can do this by traveling, by consuming the content that they produce, films, books, can be translated, going to festivals, events, watching, videos on YouTube, on Instagram and all sorts. Maybe YouTube, something a little bit long form and then a quick reel, right? So you immerse yourself and you consciously seek to understand, to see the world from their point of view, to see the similarities. And if you look good enough, you really will see that everything is the same. The things that make a culture on the surface level is their food and geography, right? If it's a hot place, then you're going to be sweating and maybe you have to dress a bit lighter than I am right now. And maybe the diet is going to be, regional, right? In a place where there's a desert, they will eat one type of food. In the mountains, they'll eat something else. By the river, by the sea, they'll eat something else. And then that partially makes the culture. But food is not what makes the culture, right? It's the values that are there. And the values are all quite similar traditionally. It's family. Family values, love, caring for another, caring for each other, and having a good time. And whatever way a culture, a nation, society finds to have a good time, whatever way they find to have a good time, they will do that. What's easiest and what's available to them by default, pretty much. Which for a place like this is just going outside and having a cigarette. For most people here, so many smokers, is crazy. Just going outside, having a cigarette, chilling, breathing fresh air in some parts, and then maybe cigarette filled in some others. In a place like England, is just going to the pub, getting hammered, and having a good time. Releasing all these pent-up emotions that you build up, that you're struggling to let go. You're struggling to release. So you need that bottle, that shot, that loud music to trigger that, and finally confess to your friend that you love, I don't know, his sister or something. I'm not talking about my story, but actually I am. It's quite my story, because the whole world is my story, and your story is my story as well. But yeah, so really make an effort. And what you will start seeing is you'll start seeing yourself in it, and you start seeing your own culture, and actually something you can identify with. every culture you can identify with and say, this is my culture. I'm not asking you to actually say that without believing it, without seeing it. So I'm asking you just to look and look to find your own culture and yourself in another culture. The same way as, you know, very highly recommended spiritual exercise is to look to see yourself in another person, you know. And I think is a slightly different angle, and maybe an easier solution for somebody is to look for your own culture in another culture. Seek to see yourself in another culture and see that culture as your own culture. And that, my friends, is the way to grow and is the way to truly expand beyond our own self-imposed limitations that are not just, that in some way are protecting us, but also stopping us from experiencing the world fully, from living life fully, from breathing deeply, from living intensely in the moment and taking action and doing instead of thinking, in experiencing instead of contemplating. And that is the message I'd like to leave with you today. So have a lovely day, and I will enjoy this beautiful sunshine till I'm golden brown, like a nicely baked oven bread. Have a good day. Bye-bye.